Hey guys, Thomas Kanemoto here with the Bass Hookup. Today I'm in front of my laptop and I'm just doing a little bit of work on there and kind of going through some old footage. And one of them that was on there that I've wanted to do for a while now is I'm watching this footage of me catching that 13 pounder on Clear Lake. And I've always told my brother, I said, man, I got to do like a recap of that, because in that original video, we really didn't know what we were doing. This was back in 2016. And so during the video, it was kind of like a fast-forwarded fish catch, and then just a quick show to the camera and release. But what you didn't know is how that fish was caught. You don't know my gear, which I'll share with you. And then that fish catch is unbelievable. I mean, the way that that fish was caught was something that will never happen to me again. And I don't know, maybe you guys have experienced the same thing. But that day in general was incredible. You know, the day before that fish catch, we're up there at Clear Lake. This was November of 2016. And leading up to this day where I caught the 13 pounder, I went out the 2 days before that and had a decent day, but caught a lot of smaller fish, and some up to 4 pounds. The next day, I really struggled. The fishing was really tough, but it was foggy. On this particular day, we go out, and immediately my brother catches like a 6 pounder on a 6XD crankbait. We move to another area, another rock pile, and he catches another 5 to 6 pounder. We proceed to catch a couple 3 to 4 pounders on the crankbait. He asks me if we should go hit this rock pile near Rattlesnake, and I told him I hit it the day before. I didn't get any bites, but we decided to try it anyways. And all I could say is we definitely won pre-fish that day. I mean, we had a couple 6 pounders, couple 4 pounders, and this tank 13 pounder. It's not what you want to do the day before a championship type team event, but I'll take it. So let's get into this video. I'll be watching the video, kind of sharing my insight as we go through it, but enjoy this fish catch. All right, guys, so I'm getting ready to watch this fish catch. And if you notice, guys, you'll hear right at the beginning, it starts with me pretty much making the cast. That's how the clip starts, and I make that cast, and you'll hear the line scream. Here, let's go ahead and get it going here. You'll hear that line come off the reel. And just wait, just listen for me. I actually say I have a giant.
Oh, big giant one, dude. Freaking big giant.
It's a catfish or something, dude.
I immediately say it's a
Dude,
catfish.
It's a giant, whatever it is. It's stuck in some line or something. It's a catfish. Gotta be.
You know, on Clear Lake, there are a lot of big catfish out there, and people catch them all the time.
It's on there.
And so immediately when I hook this fish, it screams. I mean, you hear that drag. That's that fish peeling drag after I hook it. And it feels weird. It just feels off. It doesn't feel, I could tell immediately it's either a catfish or it's foul hooked. This fight goes on and on. Fish just works me. Now remember, keep in mind we're fishing pre-fishing for a tournament, so my brother's still casting. He's still thinking, this is a catfish, I gotta keep fishing.
It's a bass.
Catfish. The belly of the catfish.
Yeah.
This is when I tell my brother, I say it's a bass. He still thinks it's a catfish.
It's a bass. It's a bass. It's a bass. It's a bass. I snagged it, dude.
This is when I could see it snagged or foul hooked. And I could see white belly coming up from down below. So I know it's not a catfish. My brother still thinks it's catfish.
Just reach out and fire to put it on.
Oh my god.
There's another boat close by, so
Oh my god. This will
my brother wants me to keep it a little secret, but I'm like, this thing's too big to keep secret. I need to show this thing.
It's gonna. It might come off.
Huh? What can you catch that tournament?
Dude, I don't even have him hooked. I don't even have him hooked.
It's twisted around his fin.
I have it freaking twisted on him.
On his fin, right?
Dude, just twisted around. No, the line.
On
is-
his body, yeah.
What?
Dude, he's
How
totally
did he even hit? I don't even know how he did.
Grab him, grab him.
Oh my gosh.
It's a giant, dude.
Oh, dude, the bait just came.
How is he on there, dude? I don't know. I don't know how you have him, dude. That'll never happen in tournament.
Is that the
Never.
luckiest thing you just ever seen?
That'll never happen in tournament.
How did I freaking catch that?
Look at on your
Look
line.
how big this freaking fish is, dude.
Holy crap.
Oh my
It's
god.
a 12-pounder, dude.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Look at that fish. Oh my gosh.
And it wasn't even
That
hooked.
is a freaking giant.
And it wasn't even hooked.
You can see how
gosh.
I know.
all of a sudden I realized just how big that fish is. And the excitement, starts.
Take a picture with my phone. Take a picture. And send it to Johnny.
Yeah.
It's
No,
good.
I'll take it around. I'll send you the picture.
I'm gonna get him in the water. Hurry, hurry.
So I go and put that
Hurry.
fish,
He's freaking giant.
try to get that fish in the water as soon as possible in the live
Real
well.
quick, be fast. 'cause
So
I
we
don't
could take
wanna-
a few pictures. And I apologize. Like I said, we're just getting started with this YouTube thing. In fact, we didn't even know we were going to make a YouTube video out of this day, but we had the camera running. We weren't.
I want to win.
If I could have done it again, I would have.
You hold it down.
My brother snagged. He's lucky he didn't lose his rod here. So we snap a few pictures, and then I explain a little bit of how that fish was caught.
Guys, look at this fish. This is a giant fish right here. I'd even have him hooked. If you couldn't see it, but I don't know. I have no clue how I got that fish in. It wasn't hooked at all, and the bait was on the outside of its, like around one of its fins right here, and it wasn't hooked. It was just wrapped. The line was wrapped around his fin. I'm gonna go.
All right, there you have it. I didn't show the release, and like I said, we were new at it. I didn't show the release. I didn't show the weight. That fish clocked in at 13.14 pounds. So just over 13 pounds. It was huge. It was just, the girth was insane on that fish. And so I just want to share with you guys a little bit. The rod, the reel, I don't even have that rod and reel anymore, but the rod was a Cousins rod, which isn't even the market anymore, but it was a Cousins, I think 733 fiberglass rod, and I was throwing a Okuma Serrano, I think, reel, that green reel, and I had on 15-pound test, P-line tactical. What's so awesome is you could hear when I thought it was a catfish, and then you actually hear me say, I think there's slime. there's slime on the line, because normally when you catch a catfish, you'll have sometimes 20 feet of slime on your line from that catfish. It actually wasn't slime, it was my line. So we were fishing this rock pile, and my crankbait was coming uphill. And when that fish hit it and took off, it peeled line through those volcanic rocks. So it frayed up my line like you wouldn't believe. Like 20, 30 feet of my line was frayed. And it wasn't slime, it was the fray on my line. And that line, the tactical, held up through that battle, which is awesome, or else I wouldn't have seen that fish. But guys, that fish was not hooked. It wasn't hooked at all. In fact, I'm going to share with you, I recently caught a fish on the Delta punching that was not hooked. And I'll show you actually an image of that right here. And so the fish wasn't hooked. It was wrapped with the line, but it wasn't wrapped around the whole fish like this one that I caught punching. It was actually just wrapped around that pectoral fin. I'm guessing that fish was hooked at some point, maybe right off the bat in that fight, but I have no idea how I landed that fish. It even like flopped near the boat a few times, and that line never came untangled. But as soon as I grabbed that fish with my hand from the water and I put slack in the line, it was like an overhand loop knot, and it just released, and the bait just floated up to the top of the water. You could see I never unhooked the fish at all. It wasn't hooked. It is insane. Please, guys, if you've caught a fish like that wasn't hooked at all, I mean, we've all caught fish where, well, not all, but have you ever caught a fish where it just engulfs the whole entire bait and your crankbait is in it from top to bottom, and the treble hooks are just loose floating in there? This was a different deal. I mean, this fish, it didn't have it in its mouth. It was off the side of the fish's body, just dangling there. So if you've ever caught a fish like that, please comment below and let me know. But I just wanted to share this fish catch with you again. I was going through the footage, and it's just a fun memory to walk through. But I hope you enjoy the video. Please like, comment, and share this with someone that you know, and see if they've ever caught a fish like this. And especially a PR, a 13-pounder. But hey, we'll catch you guys on the next one.